Welcome to the G3 podcast. We're going to be talking about everything geeky and nerdy in between comic books, toys, video games, movies, you name it, we got it.
You're tuned in to the loudest, craziest, and most excited bunch of geeks and nerds on this side of the planet. You're about to dive into everything nerdy and geeky in between.
This
is the G3 podcast. Gamers, geeks, and good times.
evening, everyone.
Yeah.
Dali may inaayos ako.
What is up? What is up? What is up? Ano naman nangyayari, mga kaibigan?
Wait.
Ano nangyari?
Ano nangyari sa host?
Ewan.
Okay. I told you guys maybe someone else should take over.
We lost him.
It's fine. We can roll with this.
God. Yes, we can salvage this.
Timing.
Sanay na tayo dyan. So, what's up mga kaibigan? Hello. Good evening. What's up? Kamusta naman kayo lahat? And it's the G3 podcast. It's another Friday. At of course, it's Eid Mubarak, mga kaibigan. So, all of our Muslim brothers, Eid Mubarak to you guys. And I hope you enjoy this day. At kamusta naman kayo mga kaibigan? How is you and how is your internets over there? Somewhere in Cavite. Medyo time space warp ang connection.
Ayan, sasabihin na
Thank you,
forever
Converge.
consistent
Thank you, Converge.
internet connection.
Kamusta? Kamusta nga tayo? Kamusta Palits? You have been busy this week. Alam namin yan kasi yung isang meeting natin hindi ka naka-attend eh. Hindi ka namin kinulit kasi alam namin swap meet.
And no, aside from swap meet, the brush is happening. So this time of the year talagang expected ko na laging busy.
Pagod na pagod yung boses mo eh. Parang nakapantulog eh.
Para nagda-drop yung cheeks mo eh. Ano nga yung sabi mo na rin eh? Ano yun? Yung sintomas ng ano yun? Yung nagda-drop yung cheeks? Ano nga yun?
Bell's palsy?
Grabe.
Bell's palsy ba yun? Hoy, alam mo, ang Bell's palsy nakukuha sa stress ha, kaya pahinga din ha. Pahinga din ha. Ikaw, Jazz, how is your day today? Alam ko may pinuntahan ka. And bago mo sabihin yung araw mo, I'd like to, of course, greet the little man himself, Mr. Yuri Ganayo. Happy birthday, Yuri. 12th birthday niya, mga kaibigan. Yeah. At actually, doon galing si Jazz at ang daming pictures na pinadala sa akin.
Sarap ng kare-kare, sarap ng fried
Kamusta yung paglalakad mo pa uwi?
Okay lang. Hindi naman inabot ng gout. Ayan.
Hindi naman.
I'm okay.
Masarap naman yung kare-kare.
Oo naman. Pakasarap. At hindi ko inubos, so para sa'yo, hindi ko inubos.
Napaka-kulit mo. Iigit na ako dito. Ginaganyan mo pa ako. Mamaya guys, pwede ko i-post ipapakita ko yung sinasabi sa akin ni Jazz ha. Just para lang sa aking defense. Hindi ako masamang tao. I'm not wishing him gout. He already has it.
Sa mga ugali mo, sabi mo may the gout be with you.
Sabi ko goat. Mali lang pagbabasa mo.
Ako, na-apektuhan na ng gout yung eyesight niya.
Tricks, wala nga. Hindi nyo lang alam siya, of course, back end naman to. No? So si Trix, nagmadali yan pa uwi dahil nga may episode kami. So saan ka galing? Kanina mag-chat ka eh. I'm parang galing sa arcade. I'm thinking Quest.
Well, I did go somewhere. I just went to watch the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh.
Oh!
And-
Hindi ko pa napapanood.
I actually wanted to watch the Voltage 5 Legacy as well, pero it would infringe on our time slot. So next time na yun.
Pero did you guys see yung mga
I've seen
leaks?
clips from TikTok.
Oh, yung mga clips, no?
I've seen a 7-minute clip of the sequence, like from like dito sa hangar. Yung hangar 1, Steve, hangar 2, ganun. Parang ganun. Tapos pababa sila, ganun. And then writing their stuff.
I have to say,
The transformation.
I have to say, yung assembling ng ni Voltes 5, very, very, very impressive para sa akin.
Pero expect mo na yun, every episode, ganun yung sequence pa rin.
Sana ganun, Sana ganun, kasi ganun sa anime eh.
I-replay lang naman nila.
Teka, may something si Trickster doon, Ano yan, ha? Ano yan?
This is my birthday present to myself. Advance Wars 2.
Hey! Ay, paborito ni Mike yan.
Oh no! Speaking of Mike, pala, I wanted to take a picture of it, pero I didn't want to seem like a jackass, but I saw a limited edition copy of Front Missions over there.
Nakakasar ka eh.
For only
talaga ako nun.
For only like 1,800.
Oh, limited edition Front Mission. Is that the first one? Yung Front Mission one?
First one.
Shoot. And syempre may Switch si Mike eh.
Oo.
Anyway, happy birthday, Trix! O nga pala, birthday ni Trickster kahapon. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
32, no, Trix? Tama ba?
Yes, even I don't remember my own age now. So
It's sad to say, Trickster, wala ka na sa kalendaryo. It's a year na wala ka na sa kalendaryo.
Pero wag ka mag-alala, nasa bingo ka pa rin.
Nasa bingo ka pa, nasa loto ka pa, so okay ka pa.
Yes, nasa bingo ka pa. And of course, may advanced words ka naman. So, age is just a number, gamer ka naman.
True. Diba? Kita
And
mo,
speaking
Mike,
of age, of course, speaking of age, pag-usapan naman natin si Mike. Mike, what have you been up to this week? Kamusta ka naman? Ito, medyo naging busy rin to eh.
Dami lang ginagawa, no? So, I am actually, busy ako. Hindi ako nakaka-reply sa mga chat. May mga nagtatag sa akin doon. Sorry, hindi ako nakaka-reply. May mga nagme-message sa akin. Sorry, really busy lang talaga. Pero babawi ako once everything lightens up. Pero overall naman, it was a good week naman for me.
That's good. At kung hindi nyo alam, of course, si Mike handles all our video edits. Kaya nabugbog yan this week. Pero kung nakikita niyo yung mga posts namin sa YouTube, sa Facebook, and all that, mga videos namin doon, yung mga interviews, mga event vlogs, lahat yon galing kay Mike yun. So congrats, Mike. It's a good job this week, and of course last week also. No, guys, again, yan. Hey, what's up, Yuri boy? Happy birthday, bud. Again, guys, I need to invite
cool boy.
Everyone. I gotta invite everyone to please go to our YouTube page, G3 Gamers, Geeks, and Good Times. Kindly subscribe, no? Paki-like na lang yun, paki-follow na lang kami. So you can watch all the videos na inedit ni Mike. Marami pa mangyayari dyan. Marami pa yan.
Sabi pa talaga. Pero I mean, it's fun. Ang saya naman niya.
I am glad to hear that. And of course, lastly, yung ating kaibigan na mukhang hirap na hirap siya sa technology these days. Kamusta ka naman, Rene? Internet of Things 2023 na. Wala pa rin internet sa Cavite.
Ang ayos ng internet ko ng mga nakaraang araw, di ba? Nag-meeting pa tayo.
Ngayon, hindi. Ako rin ang bagal ng...
God damn. This is...
Hassle ba, bro? Hassle.
Sana akong Monday magaling internet.
Mag-converge ka na.
Bro. Hassle, bro.
Alam nyo na medyo hirap sa internet eh. Bro na lang nasabi.
Bro na lang nasabi. Wala na naman siya, no? Wala na naman siya, di ba?
Yeah, oo nga. Anyway, guys, it's going to be an exciting day. Maganda yung topic natin.
talaga.
Pagpasensya nyo na, guys, ano tayo? Slave to technology tayo, mga kaibigan. Again, it's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great episode. Pag-uusapan natin yung mga video game characters na sa tingin natin belong to the wonderful list of influential and very iconic characters na ever created, no? And of course, mga easy picks yan, Mario, 'di ba? Sonic, ganyan. Pero before we dive into that, syempre dito tayo sa first segment natin, ang pabate
Matanda si Mike.
ni Mike. Pabate ni Mike Quintana. Mike, pabate.
Since
Pabate.
sa bago
Pabate.
nating layout.
Wow! Wow, social.
You may be big, but we should not power over you.
Bida-bida yung layout.
Oo, bida yung layout, ha?
Big
Pero
boy
tayo pa
layout.
rin nasa ibabaw.
Okay, start na tayo para makarami. Yan na nga, sabi nga ni Stanley dito, what's up mga sir? Sabi rin niya, obviously Friday is Friday. Hello sa mga viewers. Don't forget to follow our page for podcast gaming news and geeky stuff. Nandiyan sa comment niya yan. Siyempre si Harim nandyan. What's up, brother?
Yes.
JM Calimoso is also here. Sabi ni Stanley, hello everyone sa panibagong episode. What's up, Josiah Pagaraga, nandyan din. Tapos nandyan din si Ranelo.
Josiah! Oy, hi,
Banyagan Native.
Grabe naman si
Hello.
Chen.
Ayan, no, si Banyagan Native, nandyan din kagad. Ready na kagad sa discussion mo
sir.
naman. Soul of Shokogin release of this version of Voltes 5. Happy birthday, Trick. Siyempre, sabi rin ni Yuri, happy birthday. Sabi ni Stanley, shout out to my mother, Lexi. Sabi ni JM, happy birthday, sir.
Wala ba tayo pang happy birthday music dyan?
Oo. Wala, di na ano eh.
Do you want a pony
Chen,
version?
sabi niya, hi Rene. Wala bang hi G3 dyan? Sabi ni Stanley, hello Scarlett. Sabi ni Len, pa-shout out, happy birthday, May. And,
Dami mo yung birthday!
Happy birthday!
Oh.
And yun
Grabe
na,
naman si
thank
Ched.
you.
Si Rene lang ang binati talaga. Edi kayo na.
Eddie wow.
Edi wow sabaw. Alright, maraming salamat Mike Quintana para sa iyong pabate portion of the night. Yan, napakaganda. And of course, alam niyo naman natin na dito sa G3, we aim to give you the best news ever, lalong-lalo na pag galing kay Sega. Kaya, Mike, intro kay Sega. Yan na yung magandang ano mo, ha?
Yan.
Napakaganda talaga ng transition natin going to that, no? Anyway, tingnan natin kung anong... Alright, so Company of Heroes ang una nating sasabihin. Check yun! Sobrang handa tayo mga kaibigan, guys. Of course, Relic Entertainment and Sega Europe Limited just announced that the acclaimed real-time strategy game Company of Heroes 3 will be having its own console version. Of course, it will be available on the PlayStation 5, complete with full controller support, a custom UI, and a special feature that allows players to play at their own pace. So players used to the gamepad can maximize the full tactical pause. Rix, pakita mo nga yung gamepad ng ating PS5 dyan. Alam ko, meron ko dyan. This feature, saglit lang, binigla ko si Trickster. This feature gives players better coordination over the pacing of the battlefield, providing more time to think through every move. The full tactical pause offers players a brand new experience without real-time pressure. So PlayStation 5 owners can pre-purchase a digital copy of Company of Heroes 3 Console Edition via the PlayStation Store. Ayan na. PlayStation Store starting April 26, 2020. Yan. So if sanay ka dito guys sa PlayStation 5, you can actually buy it sa PlayStation Store starting April 26. That's next week. For more information on Company of Heroes 3, please visit their website, www.companyofheroes.com. You can also sign up for Relic's community feedback platform. And, of course, follow the game on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook for more updates. Alright, ano kaya susunod na balita natin galing sa ating kaibigan sa Sega?
And
There's more.
Oh, okay. Medyo may delay tayo sa internet lately. And of course, alam na natin ang susunod na balita. It is Total War Warhammer 3. Guys, the Chaos Dwarfs are on a mission to find the blood of Hashut, a mighty being that symbolizes fire, greed, and tyranny. So guys, there's going to be a new campaign DLC. It's ano nga ba tong balita na to? Of course, it is the Ruthless Chaos Dwarfs in Total War Warhammer 3.
Hindi siya sure.
Hindi tayo sure, guys, kasi gulo-gulo ang ating script. Hindi natin maintindihan, katulad ng ating transition. So, ulitin ko. So, get ready! Get ready, guys! To engage in an intense battle with the Ruthless Chaos Dwarfs in Total War Warhammer 3. Of course, the Chaos Dwarfs are on a mission to find the blood of Hashut, a mighty being that symbolizes fire, greed, and tyranny. At may sumisigaw sa background. To get it, they need to corrupt valuable relics from their longtime foes, the dwarves, and use them to build the great drill of Hashut. Mahaba-mahaba yung spiel natin ngayon. Conquer the battlefield with 3 legendary lords at your command and lead an assortment of ironclad warriors, yung mga warriors na yan, and hellish beasts, including the Infernal Guard and Bull Centaurs, as well as their malevolent war machines, such as the Magma Cannons, Skull Crushers, Dreadquake Mortar, and Colossal K-Die Destroyer. Di ko alam anong pronunciation. K-Die. Ewan ko. Apart from the campaign pack, there is also a free, another challenging pronunciation, the Enchian Mirror of Madness DLC with 2 new game modes for Warhammer 3, the Trials of Fate, and Infinite Portal. And of course, you can actually unlock another legendary hero, si legendary hero Ulrika Magdova, by registering for a CA account, linking it to your platform of choice, and completing her in-game mission. You can actually check out that link dun sa post natin sa Facebook at our G3 Facebook page. All right, and our last news for Sega tonight. And of course, Sega acquires mobile games developer Rovio for a whopping $775 million. So basically, Sega is really expanding its horizons with the recent acquisition of Rovio. So game developing giant Sega has confirmed their purchase of the Finland-based mobile games developer responsible for the first mobile game to be downloaded over 5 million times. Of course, alam na natin kung ano yun. It is Angry Birds, mga kaibigan. The acquisition will cost $775 million and is expected to finalize by the end of September. Through this acquisition, Sega aims to bring some of its popular gaming titles, Comic Zone, Week Wink, to the global mobile gaming market while helping Rovio diversify and transition beyond the mobile gaming scene. Ibig sabihin nun, Angry Birds PlayStation 5 version. This move is expected to significantly impact the gaming industry and open up new opportunities for both companies to grow and thrive in the future. And that's it for our Sega news update of tonight. Transition, kunyari, boom!
I gotta say though, the controller bit for Company of Heroes 3 is interesting because there's only one other RTS that I know that uses controller. In modern, I'm not talking about the PS1 Command and Conquer. Which
alam ko Warcraft eh. Warcraft 3 meron din eh.
Like Age of Empires with the controller sounds insane, but at least with Company of Heroes, since you're just maneuvering units, it sounds a lot more manageable. At the
Actually, kung they have the trailer right now, just sa UI. Ang ganda ng UI. It seems very, very easily consumable. So,
Like you can just
Ganda,
issue
ganda.
orders.
But of course, it's only for the PlayStation 5 so far sa ngayon.
You know,
For
it
PlayStation,
would make it easy to just play Company of Heroes like casually like this, just dropping napalm strikes on the Africa core, just like so.
right. I'm sure yung Company of Heroes 3 talagang bala ko talaga bilhin yun sa PC. Pero mukhang masaya talaga sa PS5.
I'm still
But
not.
bakit mo pa bibilihin?
Kasi we support developers, Jazz.
Ano?
We support them all, di ba?
We support
Alright.
naman them eh. We support naman.
Oo.
We're working side by side, di ba? So,
Tama naman.
that's support, di ba?
Of course, bago tayo magtuloy, check natin ang ating batang Cavite yan, Boy Etibak. Kamusta naman ang iyong internet, Boy Etibak?
Bad trip na yan.
Am I here? Like,
Asan na to?
see me, hear me? I'm not sure.
We can hear you, pero I think there's something.
We can hear you, pero may bad trip, nakaka-bad trip yung yung dati.
I think it's the video. Maybe.
Kita niyo to?
Nakikita namin.
Wala.
Nakikita namin.
Ay.
Nakaganyan mo kasi yan. Ganyan mo. Anyway, again guys, it has
Yun na yung contribution ko sa episode.
Thank you very much. It's actually been a great year so far for gaming, no? Especially for pasensyahan nyo na guys, meron tayong background music dito, pasigaw. So it's it's been a great year specifically for Mario kasi nga kaka-premiere lang ng Super Mario Brothers, the movie, the animated movie, no? Dito basically. And if you remember the Super Mario Brothers movie of old, masasabi mong, salamat na lang Lord! Buti na lang, meron ng bago. Ako, personally, I haven't really watched it, pero napanood nyo na ba yung Super Mario Brothers the movie?
The one with Dennis Hopper?
No! Yan! yung si Bowser parang bad actor lang.
Monkey.
Actually, narinig nyo kanina, di ba? Si Trickster actually went to the mall and watched the Super Mario Brothers movie. So, without spoiling anything, Tricks, at total, hindi pa namin napapanood lahat. Kamusta naman ang movie for you? How was Chris Pratt in all of that madness?
I am actually surprised that I didn't find him too problematic. The same with
Really?
Seth Rogen. I thought I would be bothered with Seth Rogen the most, but they did a good job with their voice acting. The only thing that I had, Charlie Dave's fine as well as Luigi. I'm glad to be proven wrong. You know, I'm glad because that was one of the voice acting was one of my worries. The only problem I had, so it was a minor little thing, but they fixed it in the end. Was Peach? That's it. Like,
what's wrong with Peach?
She doesn't act like Peach at all. If you swapped it for Daisy, it would make so much more sense, personality wise.
Really?
And I like the dynamic between the brothers. It's very heartwarming. And the best part, they put in a shit ton of references in that movie, not just from Mario.
Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo things are there as well. It's like a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. Most of it is on the start, so there you go.
So, do you think it's fanfare or really it hooks up new gamers or new viewers to Mario para ma-introduce si Mario sa kanila? Kasi it's, I mean, I've only seen the trailers, pero grabe yung ginawa nila sa world.
Yeah. It's actually the beginning of the movie is actually kind of reminiscent of the old Mario movie, if you can even believe that, with how it starts.
New York, tapos may van, ganon.
Yeah. They put in a lot of stuff in there. Even so it's nice for them to reference even that, even if that's not their goal. If you're a Mario fan, if you're a hardcore Mario fan, you'll definitely love this movie. And it's just a great time overall, especially for kids. But if you're coming in here looking for some kind of weird deep plot, well, I've got bad news for you. This is Mario. This has no plot. So, that's super deep at all.
Sobrang weird, no? Pumunta ka dito, bakit ganito yung storya na ito?
I know a guy whose reaction was that. Actually, he was so angry for some strange reason, and this is a kids movie, man. Like, just calm down, chill. You know?
I'll be sure to catch that this week, and I hope everyone else will. And of course, si Mario is a household name, no? Actually, medyo legendary na yung dating niya. Kasi not only has he a new movie, the music, the original music for Super Mario Brothers, yung tanan tan tanan tan, it's actually the first game music to ever been selected for preservation sa Library of Congress. So basically, ang sinasabi nila, that music, yung tanan tan tanan tan, they say it's culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant, and or inform or reflect life in the United States. So it's really for preservation.
Yes, I love the floating rocks of Brooklyn, New York. You know?
Actually,
So the movie just proved that Mario is an isekai.
Hindi ko naisip yun na gano'n.
Isipin nyo naman kung saan castle na kinukuha si Daisy. Hindi pa rin mahuli. Diba? Paulit-ulit na lang. Di na napagod. Very easy, guy. Super easy.
Very easy.
Actually, just to talk about the original soundtrack, no, aside from being preserved, si Jimmy Fallon actually and the Roots, and of course the cast of the Super Mario Brothers movie came up with a good music, a cappella to the original theme song with a special guest. Mike, are we able to show that video here?
Yeah,
in
we
case
can.
meron tayo, no?
I've never heard of this. Hold on.
Oh, it is.
Oh, you
funny.
haven't?
If you haven't watched this,
Yung a cappella version, yeah.
oh, if you haven't watched this, lalo na yung mga viewers, if you haven't watched this, it's a treat. Lalo na sa mga fans of the original soundtrack. It's fun. And again, there's a special guest at the end. Hey, abangan niyo yun. Hintayin natin si Mike if we can be able to watch it.
I can. Give me a few seconds and off ko lang yung sound natin.
Habang
and sige. Let's go.
All right, let's watch this, guys.
You gotta show us the thing.
I forgot Keegan Michael Key is in the video. He's in the movie.
Yeah.
He's like Toad pala, yeah.
Yeah, he is Toad.
Yeah, he's Toad. I forgot.
That was a great. That was a great. So basically, that and the movie, it gave way to give the status of legendary to Mario. But syempre, hindi lang naman si Mario ang mga iconic dito and influential. But before we dive into that, kasi alam ko ready na kayo. Kahapon pa natin pinag-uusapan at alam ko you are all ready to fight for your
Fight
characters.
to the death. Joke lang.
Fight for the death. Grabe naman. Grabe naman, sir. Pero hindi po. I just like to ask, guys, what makes an iconic video game character? Anyone? What makes an iconic and an influential video game character?
I think, let me start this off with
Yes, go ahead.
Recognizability. Okay. For gamers and non-gamers, people will be able to recognize the character and or the game franchise the character is from.
Maybe not the name, just by looking at it.
But like, that guy, right? Like that guy, that guy, yeah. Parang ganun, diba? So I think that's a start, and then I guess a viewership factor as well, where the number of people that has seen this character in all forms of media, like Super Mario, video games, animated series, animation or something, movies, di ba? So like the number of eyeballs this character gets, so that adds into what makes it an iconic character.
Right. Tama yun. Memorability is very, very good. Ikaw, Mike, what do you think makes an iconic video game character?
For me, para maging iconic siya, no, it has to cross generations eh. Kung kailangan yung
ganda naman
ano
nun.
na yun.
Cross generation.
Hindi kasi
para
It has
ikaw
to
lang.
appeal to his age, di ba?
Parang ikaw lang.
ko na nga sinabi yun eh, pero kailangan yung para for it to be iconic, kailangan yung mga generation ng mga year 80s, 90s, and then 2000s, then 2010s. Kumbaga, all recognize that same particular icon.
Right.
Diba? So, kumbaga, magkakaiba lang sila ng nakita, ibang version yung nakita nila, pero it's still the same character.
Right.
So, na they grew up in love. So, for me, that's the important factor there.
Yeah, I like what you said, cross-generation. Grabe talaga. Definitely, kung titignan nyo si Mario, talagang nag-cross siya ng multiple generations. Ikaw, Lee, what do you think makes an iconic character? Kasi ito si Lee, he's a retro gamer and of course, a collector as well. And I'm sure, in regards to characters, mas maraming masasabi to. So, what makes a character iconic or influential?
I think the main two characteristics of an icon has been said by Mike and Jazz. No, for me, just my opinion. Whenever I think about an icon, even if it's a character or a personality, aside from it transcends time, it has its own personality. It's very unique that you don't see it on others, that it becomes an icon. It becomes so memorable that he's such a badass. For example, like Mario, he's so fun. And we remember the character as a fun character. The same with Solid Snake. He's such a badass. Whenever I see an icon and categorize an icon, I look at the personality or the character behind it. So that's one of the things that when you say it has become an icon, you look for that. Yeah. So even like what Cap said, it transcends time.
Right.
It transcends multiple generations. I think that is something that is a key factor into determining if a character has become an icon.
Yeah, I like what you said. Actually, medyo along the lines of what Jazz said. Sabi ni Banyagang Native here is, iconic for me is universally recognized. Ask a guy on the street and he'll identify that character. So for example, si Pac-Man. And actually, perfect example ulit si Mario. Kasi yung mga magulang naman natin, alam naman natin na lahat yan. Lahat ng characters, kahit anong video game pa yan, si Mario lang ang nare-recognize. Oh, si Mario. Di ba Mario yan?
Si Nintendo.
Kahit kulay blue siya.
Kahit si Luigi,
Si Nintendo.
Mario. Ganun.
Not to be fair. Not to be fair, you know, some of our parents still remember certain characters. Like for instance, my mother is her favorite character will be Mappy. So, you know.
Actually, trivia to kay Josh. Both of his parents are actually gamers in their own right.
Right.
In their own right. So, living in a household of gamers, ano sa tingin mo, Josh, yung paano nila na-determine na a character is very iconic and memorable? Kasi with yung Mappy isn't, kung i-compare mo siya sa, let's say, so another character, is not very memorable for some. But for us gamers, kilala natin si Mappy.
I'm sorry, you're cutting off a bit. I don't know if it's me or.
Well, basically, the question is, living in a household of gamers, what do you think makes a character iconic? You mentioned Mappy, na paborito ni Tita Judy. Pero how did she came about being favoring Mappy over all the other characters na mas kilala?
Oh, it's basically the impact of the character and the game itself. The game the character itself came from. It's not fair. They already said what I wanted to say, but
Kaya ako nauna eh.
Ronnie,
Kaya ako nauna.
hayaan mo lang, bigyan mo sila ng chance tricks. Ikaw eh.
it's fine. Aside from their from their iconic presence,
Right.
I guess it would be a part of being iconic would be how they impacted the industry in general. Like it can be from a genre they started from, or any other genre that fancied that inspired that got inspired by certain characters or the game itself. So maybe so probably it's part of being iconic is the impact it brought to it got received from people.
Right. That's actually a great answer. Medyo along the lines of what I'm going to say din eh. Pero, tawagin muna natin ang ating kaibigan, Boy Etibak from the streets. Rene, ready ka na ba? What makes an iconic?
Am I here though? Kasi I'm not sure if I'm here. So
you are here.
Okay. So before I answer your question, happy birthday, Yuri. I did get a chance to do that earlier. Hi, Ched. I also did not get a chance to do that.
Speaking up for lost time, are we?
Yeah. So in addition to what everyone here has said, one big factor for me to determine if if a character is iconic is either mainstream appeal. Kasi we like video games, yes, it is a niche. Pero unless that character is able to cross over and appeal to the mainstream, to non-gamers, to the normal person, like Mayagang Native alluded to, think he and I think alike. It has to be able to cross multiple platforms. The example that we keep on using is Mario, because he's been in TV shows, he's got a couple of movies, merchandise, like lunchboxes, t-shirts, shit like that. So it has to have an indelible impact on pop culture in general, not just in the niche that it belongs to. Certain video game characters can be iconic for gamers, but they may not be iconic for the common person, who masa nga. So for me, that's a big factor. So when you take that into consideration, the list of iconic video game characters suddenly shortens, because there are only very few that manage to achieve that. It's nice to be back.
It is. It's so good to have you here, brother. Maraming salamat at nakasali ka sa amin. Buti naman. But for me, I love all of your answers. Just to add on everything, no, medyo in line ako dun sa sinabi ni Josh. It has to have impact. Not only impact to you and to the gamers that you know, but also impact on the generations. Even dun sa mga non-gamers, it has to be very impactful. So taking for example si Mario, no, Mario has been so well known and so well liked na kahit hindi gamer yung anak mo, kilala niya pa rin yon through whatever channel or sa internet, no, mababasa niyan, makukuha niya yan. At malalaman niya yung kulay pa lang ng suot ni Mario, kilala niya na ay si Mario to. Pero for those na nalaro siya, for those na nakilala siya, it gave impact to whoever they are. So I think that makes an iconic character. With that being said, again, I'm sure you all have your picks. Just to be very, very candid to everyone, no, guys, pinag-usapan namin to yesterday actually, at kanya-kanya kaming pumili ng sa tingin namin should belong in the list of iconic influential characters. So, just a few rules, no, na nabanggit namin. Definitely, hindi na natin isasama si Mario kasi it's an obvious choice. Legendary status na, maybe even more than that. Hindi na rin natin isasama si Sonic. Kasi, Mario and Sonic has always been going towards each other since nung Nintendo and Sega rival. So, kahit sino pa sabihin natin si Mario is there, Sonic, nandun na si Sonic eh. No, nandun si
For
Sonic.
better
So
or
let's
worse.
not bring Sonic. Oh, for better or worse. So let's not bring in Sonic to the fight. But all other characters, spare game. Ito lang yung mga rules namin mga kaibigan. No? It should be a character that made their first appearance in a video game. Ibig sabihin nun, no adaptations like sila Batman, hindi pwede sila Superman no? Kasi they came from comics or sila Captain Jack Sparrow kasi alam naman natin yung mga video games ng Pirates of the Caribbean, hindi natin pwede sama yon because they originally came from movies naman. So, plainly, basically, video game characters lang. Video game characters. Siyempre si Sonic, video game character first muna siya before transcending towards the big screens. No? So yun, pwede yun. And another one is of course, we try to avoid, choosing our favorite characters. In my case, hindi ko pinili si Cloud Strife kasi sobrang fanboy ako ng Final Fantasy 7. Hindi ko siya pinili kasi for me, I don't really think that he is so iconic yet very influential pa rin naman siya. No? So yun. After that, gagawin natin dito is very, very simple. Each of us will share kung sino yung character na yan and will also give facts kung bakit. We'll define, we'll explain kung bakit sa tingin namin magiging iconic, influential siya. Now, then after everyone has said their piece, then magkakaroon tayo ng rebuttal round. Sasabihin natin kung bakit hindi naman si ganito dahil di naman siya kilala, yung mga ganon. So, it's going to be fun. And guys, viewers out there, for those who are watching, please share your characters as well. Share your thoughts. Magbigay rin kayo ng rebuttal if you can. No? We'll be reading them later on. All right. So, Rene, how are we going to start?
May I go first? Yeah. I would like to go
Kasi
first
wala
habang
siyang
maayos pa yung internet ko.
Sige.
So,
That's a good idea.
yeah.
Go for it.
Also, I'd also like to go. Another reason why I wanted to go first because my pick has already been mentioned.
Right.
So, as you can probably assume, my pick is Pac-Man. So I'll talk about my pick, and then I'll tell you when I'm done, and then I'll choose who goes next. So
Yeah.
I think we should do that. So this maintains
Ganun yung
an
format
orderly
natin. Ganun
theme.
yung format.
So first off, as you can see in the I love that the image just chosen is an arcade cabinet because Pac-Man was to people my age, we all know this. Pac-Man was the most popular arcade game of its era. I chose Pac-Man as an iconic video game character because of its impact with the arcade industry. It made it so that going to the arcade and playing Pac-Man became a status symbol at some point in the 80s. Like, naka-high score ka sa Pac-Man, ang galing mo siguro. It became so popular that Pac-Man was actually synonymous for a time. It became synonymous to video gaming itself. People don't say you go to the arcade to play video. You're playing Pac-Man. So this was before the console era. Because back then, consoles are expensive. Most people they don't have home consoles. They would only go to the arcade to play their video games, and only the elite would have their consoles. That's why, again, siya yung second choice ko kasi Mario dominated consoles when it came out. But arcade-wise, it was Pac-Man to the point that, like to my earlier discussion about mainstream attention, we all know that Pac-Man has crossed over into media. He appeared as a major character in the movie Pixels from a few years back. There were multiple comic books, TV shows that featured Pac-Man, whether he's starring in it or not. The common person knows who Pac-Man is. And most importantly, that's why I picked Pac-Man over Pikachu, is that a lot of people know Pikachu. Yes, more people arguably know who Pikachu is. Not everyone knows that he comes from a video game. a lot of people sees Pikachu, parang okay, siya yung bida dun sa cartoon, he's in the movie with Ryan Reynolds. But Pac-Man is popular, is universally known, but there's no that everyone knows that he is a video game character. So he is iconic in a sense that he represents video gaming. Especially, again, during an era wherein video gaming was mostly limited. Kamukha ni Pac-Man yung mga yan. Video gaming was strictly associated with arcade. Going to the arcade. And yeah. So, ang daming popular arcade games, but they all come second place to Pac-Man. And Pac-Man actually transcended arcade gaming. He moved on to consoles hanggang next gen na. I'm pretty sure he died a death a few years ago, but still, that's my pick. That is Pac-Man. When it comes to iconic video game characters, there's very few that's more iconic than Pac-Man, and that is my pick. And now, before you become assholes about it, I would like to hear. I was actually excited about this since yesterday. I told you guys during our meeting I was excited for his reason, so I'm picking him. Notch, I would like to hear why your pick is your pick. Thanks, everyone.
Actually, nabanggit ko to before the show. No? Sabi ko, parang mali yung pili ko eh. Kasi it's an easy choice. Medyo easy choice siya. Similar to Mario. Naglalaro sila ng Super Mario Bros. See how iconic Mario is? It transcends even relationships. Anyway, so my pick is again an easy choice. It's actually Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider franchise.
The first Lara Croft.
The superior Lara Croft.
Every Lara Croft. Every Lara Croft.
The superior. Akala ko yung first na yung the triangle.
Tatsulok. Let's tawagin nating Tatsulok. So, of course, alam niyo naman siguro kung bakit. No? Pero let me just give you some facts that I've researched on about Lara Croft. Well, basically, Lara Croft is actually very, very iconic and influential. Nabanggit ko kanina, it has to give impact, no? And Lara Croft is actually the first heroine sa video games. Kung pansin nyo, previous titles in the past, hindi naman ganito ka significant yung roles ng mga females. And of course, wala naman tayong kinalaman doon, no? Pero when Tomb Raider came out, it was very fresh. Kasi hindi nila kilala si Lara Croft na time. Parang sino tong babaeng to? And she looks badass. Diba? Sobrang angas niya. And syempre, tayo yung mga gamers, mga kalalaki, parang, sino to? Napaka-cute naman at tatsulok. Diba? So, for me, she really gave she has a significant role in the video gaming industry by introducing female heroines dun sa limelight. A few more facts. Bear with me guys para lang, syempre pag naglabanan tayo, wala na kayong masabi kasi totoo yung mga sinasabi ko. She's actually the first one of the first female video game characters to have been featured with 3D graphics. So again, impactful sa gaming industry, no. Also, supposedly dapat lalaki siya, pero during development naging babae siya. And yung inspiration sa kanya was Indiana Jones. She was actually supposed to be called the Indiana Jones of the video game industry. And syempre, nag-transcend na siya doon eh. Lumagpas siya doon and she became her own icon in her own right as Lara Croft. Hindi na nga pinagsama-sama si Indiana Jones eh. Although yung damit niya was inspired by yan. I have a list, guys. Pagpasensya nyo na. I have a list. Pinipili ko lang to kasi gusto ko lang banggitin yung very, very significant lang. Bear with me. Ang dami ko talaga. Sobrang dami. Ito. She has been actually recognized with numerous awards and honors, including ang Guinness World Record for being the most successful human video game heroine in 2010. and 6. Oh, alam niyo yan? Alam niyo yan?
Nice.
May Guinness World Record pala siya. Actually,
Yeah.
along that same line, she's the only video game character who has a Playboy centerfold. Alam niyo ba yan?
No.
Playboy has sige, Josh, alam ko na sabihin mo, hindi siya centerfold. Hindi siya centerfold, pero na-feature siya sa Playboy. Kasi she's the first female video game character that became a sex symbol. Kalahin niyo yun, si Tatsulok naging sex symbol. Okay,
Them polygons are good, okay? So
one more. Magbibigay ako ng isa pa. Kasi may hinahanap ako dito eh. May specific siyang ginawa. Ayun. At alam naman natin na medyo marami ng feminist sa mundo natin, ano. Pero even before having these feminists, she actually became the representation for women sa video games. Kasi when the first Tomb Raider game came out, a lot of ladies, a lot of girls became so interested in gaming. At sa generation natin, some of them or most of them actually said yung unang video game nila was Tomb Raider, PlayStation era. Because again, Lara Croft became a representation of feminism within the video game industry, which is very heavily masculine ever since. Ang dami pang facts, sobrang dami pa, pero agad doon muna tayo para meron akong pang-rebut mamaya. Pero yun, Lara Croft has an iconic and influential video game character. So easy! At actually, kanina, tignan ko si Josh kasi alam ko may mali ako nasabi. As always. Pero Josh, ikaw naman, sino ang character?
Huwag ka muna mag-rebut, ha? Just, yung pick mo muna.
Oh, wala akong gine-rebut. Sino mo gine-rebut?
Wala mo nang mag-aaway.
Wala mo na magbubukas ng apoy, ha?
Wala mo nang kukontra. We're talking to you, Palits.
Ikaw sarili mo.
Sarili mo din,
Sinabi niya yung sarili.
Okay.
So in terms
Ikaw,
of
Trix.
Nagno-notes na nga ako,
in terms of iconic actors, I feel like I'm at a disadvantage here because while I'm a fan, while I'm not a huge fan of him, I am a fan of the genre he came from, which would be Ryu Hoshi from the Street Fighter series. That man may look generic today, but he basically started the whole competitive fighting game scene nowadays. Like from SNK's Art of Fighting. I mean, the designers for Ryu was the designers for Ryo in Art of Fighting. I feel like, fuck, I don't know what to say. This character has transcended time, made a lot of rivals, and whenever you think of a fighting game, from old to new, you always think of his special moves, from the Hadouken, the Shoryuken, and our garbled version of the Tatsumaki Seppukaku, the Akit Barukit. No, you pronounced it like that as well back then. So aside from himself, his techniques has been quite memorable to everyone, from a little 5-year-old me to even the new blood nowadays. Those getting in the fighting game scene specifically. You can't. I'm sorry. I'm bad at arguing my case here.
Okay lang, Trix. I think you're making a good case kay Ryu. Yun nga lang, may tanong ako. Hindi ako mag-rebut, ha?
Even this shit show of a game, you know that's Ryu, even if he looks super
Agree.
bad, right? Like yeah,
Look at
even
that.
Ang pangit ni Blanca! Ba't gano'n yung itsura ni Blanca? Kulay tao.
the funny thing, like
Para,
yeah, I mean,
para si
yeah,
Alvin yan.
supposed to be
Guys,
in
let him finish.
Jesus Christ.
You know his moves. He basically, you know, he's the balanced man of the genre. If you're a
Sinabatayan ka ni
beginner,
Mike with a selection of footage.
nagulat ako eh. I mean, I wasn't expecting Street Fighter the movie the game. Sure, I guess. They had a movie. They had a Street Fighter movie. He was in there. Unfortunately, he was not the main character there, but still, he made a presence. And that was not the only thing. That was not only the piece of media he was in. He had his own movies, anime, cartoons. He had, and hell, even crossover with Marvel. Look at this. I mean, look at this. And he has transcended dimensions. He's fighting Magneto, Gambit, even for some reason Sentai people, even the Power Rangers. That's how well known this character is, even in the West. So I'm not sure how what else I can say about him. Even like he may not have a lot of personality aside from him being aside from his search for being his relentless training of being the strongest, but that's the basis for our fighting game protagonists. So well, aside from me rambling, what's yours, Mike? Who is your iconic video game character? Asteroid Chip? Like what?
Hindi, yung bola nga sa pong yung kay
Akala ko ba walang... Tingnan mo na. Akala ko ba walang... Walang ano. Bigla na lang... May pasuntok patagilid si Trickster eh. Pero before I give my piece, let's go see what the comments, what our viewers have to say about
ano ba yan? Buying time?
They're throwing their piece then. So, kagaya na nito, lilipat lang tayo dito. Sabi nga ni
Let's see how many people agree with me.
Sabi ni Banyagan Native, pareho kami ni Rene ng choice of characters, iconic. Siyempre, si Pac-Man. And then, same was from Metroid Bikes to Disagree.
Yes! Same was sa Aran. Let's go.
Yes, sir!
Siyempre, si Cheska, her talagang icon is Kirby talaga. Pero si Harem mentioned Lara Croft and Duke Nukem.
Yeah, Duke Nukem could have been if yung sequel niya hindi inabot na isang dekada.
That's true. Unfortunately.
If Duke Nukem forever went like earlier,
Tama rin yung sinabi ni Harem dito. Ryu is iconic and universal. Which is Pero may sinasabi si Banyaga Native. Ewan ko kung mag-agree dito si Trickster. Street Fighter, the movie, the game, best Street Fighter game of all time. So, I mean...
That's like saying the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie is the best Mortal Kombat movie.
Kahit yung title, nakakatawang sabihin.
The movie, the game.
The movie, the game.
Super Mario Brothers, the movie, the game.
Ang
Or the Switch.
Nun, to say it straight na it is. My turn.
Yeah.
Ikaw na.
Teka, relax.
Tama na yung delay tactics mo.
Delay tactics mo.
Ano ko na naman. Di ba, Lee? Oh, anyway, para sa akin,
Hindi character yung Pong, ha?
Hindi character yung Pong.
Or yung paddleboard siya.
Oo. So, ang ano ko dyan is... Iba ako sumisingit pa dito eh. Buti na lang hindi napansin ni Vince yung sinabi niya kanina. Pero, for me, my choice is Agent 47. Sorry naman. I had to trend diba? Kasi, one of the games kasi for me na talagang may nung una nag-start lang siya ng game na sige, the game was very simple nung nag-start siya noong 2000s.
Si Professor X.
There's a target, all you have to do is just find the target and eliminate him. Pero dahil sa sobrang dami nung mga naglalaro nung game na yun, tapos particularly natuwa rin sila dun sa ragdoll physics. Remember, in the early 2000s, ragdoll physics was not really a thing. Yung bang pagka may binaril ka or may tinamaan kang ganun, yung bigla siyang parang tatalsek, parang actual human talaga siya noon. So, sa sobrang dami na naglalaro ng game na to with the Hitman series, they actually umabot na siya ngayon up to this day na may storyline na siya ngayon. Paano na nag-start si Agent 47? Paano ba siya na-evolve? Bakit 47 yung number sa kanya? Just to share my own trivia, it's 47 times kasi siya yung 47th experiment. So, they were doing experiments on...
Spoiler!
Kala ko edad mo yun.
Walang yak. Naisingin mo talaga
Wala
yun.
kong 47 generations na inalagpasan mo.
Okay, so...
reality.
Sorry. We should let you finish. Sorry.
Yeah. Pero bukod dun sa game kasi na lets you be immersed. People were so curious about who Agent 47 is. So much so na nagkaroon na ng the developer, Eidos Interactive, Eidos and IO Interactive had issues na dumating dun sa point na Square Enix bought them. Pero binili ng Square Enix sila IO Interactive, pero they still have the creative freedom to do their thing. Kaya nagkaroon ng Hitman, now dubbed as the World of Assassination for the PlayStation 4, and currently they're on their third So may maganda na ngayon yung storyline niya. Yun yung sinasabi ko about moving generation. Although 20 years pa lang naman ng Hitman ngayon or like 23. Kung sa start natin from 2000s. Makikita mo na people can still relate, people still like that game.
Right.
Up to this day. So people were still looking forward to different versions of the game. So may mobile game na siya, meron na siyang
Hitman Go.
Separate standalone game. So yun. Yung Hitman Go, and that's Hitman Sniper. So I mean, hanggang ngayon they still like the game. Ang ngayon parang inaalam pa rin lang kung ano mangyayari dun sa character. It also has mamaya na rin yung akin kasi baka mawalan ako ng bala mamaya eh.
Gaya-gaya. Gaya-gaya po tamaya.
Natakot ako eh. Kasi yung sinabi ni Chino na magkakaroon siya ng bala eh. Baka maubusan ako.
Nagre-reserve.
Gaya-gaya po tamaya. Paglaki mo mukhang buhaya.
So yun.
Nakakatuwa talaga yung level of maturity na.
Oo naman. Following instructions si Mike.
Oo nga.
So, ano Mike?
Hindi niya alam yung gagawin. Hindi niya alam.
Susunod sa'yo, Mike?
Nominate someone, Mike. Mike, nominate someone, Mike.
Ako na.
Just na agad kasi siya na lang natin eh.
Hindi pa, nandiyan pa si Palit.
Hindi pa!
Ganyan,
si Palit,
Mike.
hindi pa nagsasabi.
Nakalimutan mo si Palit eh. Sige lang, alright.
Sabi na eh.
Okay. So,
Ay, Cheska, ingat sa lakad.
Sinasabotahin mo talaga ako, Mike.
I love being on the underdog team here, alright? Being my character is from one of the newest games compared sa lahat ng sinabi ng mga kasama ko.
Arte mo! Dami ko sinasabi.
So, alright. The character ko is known as the guy from Minecraft or Minecraft default skin or Minecraft guy, but he actually has a name. His name is Steve. And so
Steve.
my pick for my iconic video game character is Steve, the Minecraft main character. So, to start my argument, nilista ko rin yung mga reasons why iconic isang video game character, and I'm gonna give my reason why Minecraft Steve fits that description. So, una ko sinabi, recognizability among gamers and non-gamers. So, syempre, people recognize Minecraft. People know this guy. The first time they see this guy, oh man, okay, Minecraft. Love it or hate it, it's Minecraft. Okay. Next, viewership factor. Very valid statistic. It also helps my case. And the number of people who have seen this guy, who have seen this character, put a lot of skins on it, and the number of people who've watched the streams ng mismong Minecraft, you guys do the math. All right. Next, cross-generation. So, again, despite being one of the newest games out there, Gen Zs play Minecraft all the time as this character. Millennials, most of millennials, famous streamers and content creators play the game as well. And then sobrang dami din nilang viewers. Pero pag sinabi mo, yung mga matatanda, di nila kilala yung Minecraft. Well, I beg to differ. Gen X and boomers are actually those parents whose kids play Minecraft and nagre-reklamo na laging Minecraft na lang nilaro-laro ng anak nila. So they know Minecraft. Di ba? Alright. So, sabi ni Palitz, it has to be badass. Steve is badass. Actually, Steve is one of the strongest and most powerful video game characters out there. According to science, his punching power is equal to 32 billion pounds per square inch. Again, 32 billion pounds per square inch. It takes him 25 seconds to punch a cubic meter of diamond into dust. Okay? So,
puno nga lang.
Sabi ni Trickster, impacted the industry. Minecraft started a revolution in streaming and content creation. There are 35,000 dedicated Minecraft content creators, with the highest of them being Dan TDM with 26 million subscribers. Imaginein mo, subscribers pa lang yun, how much more yung views, right? Sabi ni Rene, being in the mainstream, self-explanatory, 100% mainstream na mainstream yung Minecraft. We got merch, we got games, we got other stuff, right? We got private servers, we got animated content ng Minecraft sa YouTube, sobrang dami. And nakita ko nga yung anak ng isang kapatid ni Len kanina naglalaro ng Minecraft. So, very mainstream. And I picked this not because it's my favorite. I don't love Minecraft, I don't play Minecraft, but I picked it based on statistics. Twitch viewership, number 5. Top 5. YouTube viewership, number 6. Player count, number 1 ang Minecraft sa player count. And it tops like yung number 2, which is CSGO, 100 million more yung Minecraft na active users. $102 million in revenue in 2022. So, based on statistics, I don't like Minecraft, but this guy, Minecraft Steve, is my pick for the most iconic video game character.
Galing. In fairness,
I did my research.
Fairness, I mean,
Okay, before we move on, Cap, what the hell was that beginning footage we saw? Why was he spawning a child?
Nakita ko nga yun eh. Magagano sila. Tapos heights. Tapos bigla may lumabas na bata.
Part ng battle ni Mike kasi yan. Sinasabotage yung mga footage natin lahat.
Tingnan mo yung Agent 47, di ba? Yung mga badass assassination skills yung pinapakita.
Sa Hitman, puro matino eh.
I've gotten gameplay, but damn, I get it.
Yung nagda-drive, ano ba yun? Tapos,
Okay.
I just have to say, ang ganda ng explanation ni Jazz. In fairness. I like that explanation.
Oh, ba't umalis si Mike?
Nagtampo eh. Tampuro!
yung Pac-Man na pinakita ni Mike, hindi yung arcade Pac-Man po, Miss Pac, ano ba yun? Yung the 3D Pac-Man, right?
Miss Pac-Man. Kasi when you mention kasi Pac-Man, may yan, kailangan makita lahat ng Pac-Man. Lahat yan, para may
pero hindi mo pinakita yung Pac-Man world.
Mama, 10 minutes yun eh. Siyempre. Basta yun. Sige.
Paborito ko yun eh, Pac-Man world. Oh, I think who
I
yung
believe we have
pinakauli na
one
lang,
last
no?
person. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, si Palits.
Just to,
Yeah.
teka, bago
We
ka
have
magsimula,
one last
Palit, ha?
person.
Bago ako magsimula, pwede bang gawin mong wag naman 1 hour yung sasabihin mo, ha? Medyo matagal.
Uy, grabe!
Kailangan mo lang ng konti, ha?
Maikli na ako magsalita ngayon eh. Okay, so let me start. Great points, guys, but I'm about to wreck today.
Sabi ko na
Later on.
Napaka-aggressive mo naman. Explanation pa lang tayo.
No. So my icon of choice is personal favorite. So favorite. I have a tattoo of it.
Yun, no?
The Master Sword. So basically, you guys know it's Link from the Legend of Zelda franchise. The reason why I chose Link as one of the most iconic characters or video game characters is that it transcends multiple generations up until now. It's still relevant up to this point. From one of the earliest famous consoles, which is the Famicom, up until the Nintendo Switch, it is still relevant and people are still playing it. The most recent record that they broke is they sold 29 million units of the Breath of the Wild. Okay, and the other thing, the other thing that that I want to point out is that it has become a meme that when you ask someone if you're an actual gamer, who is Zelda? And people don't actually know that Link is not Zelda. That's how iconic it became. That it became a meme and it became somehow a standard of gaming. That if you don't know who Zelda is, you're not an actual gamer. This is something that I've noticed a lot of times. Even it actually became a meme for a period of time. People calling Link as Zelda, and there are pictures and memes that circulated the social media about it. And aside from the point, like what Jazz pointed out, sales wise, they were never released as a free game. They were always sellable market. They have franchise.
Wala kang discount yan eh. Tagal-tagal.
Exactly. They were never sold at a discount. All their games has become valuable. Even Breath of the Wild, sealed copies and graded copies are going up in value every day of this game. And now there is a new game that's coming out, and people are already going crazy about it. So that's the simplest reason that I have for choosing Link, because I've played the majority of the major titles that it has. So, konti lang yung hindi ko nalaro actually. So, yeah, that's it. I'll keep it short because we're gonna have arguments and I'm ready for it.
In fairness, I like the explanation also. I like the description.
And one more thing that I would add, that I forgot to say, it defined dungeon crawling for video games, basically, right? So
yeah,
it defined a whole generation of gaming. So basically anything, even Minecraft falls under dungeon crawling, which was started by Legend of Zelda. So this is why I chose Link, because it created a wave of newer games, and it's still relevant up until now, that newer generation appreciates the character and the story. And another thing is that Genshin Impact uses the same game engine to run its game, which is the Breath of the Wild engine. So
yeah, same lang sila.
yeah.
Diyan ka nagkakamali!
Let the argument begin.
Okay, before time out. Before we go into the rebuttals, first off, I don't think this was discussed earlier. To all of our viewers, what we will be doing now is we will be trying to rebut each other's picks, and at the end of the episode, the aim, at least, I don't know if it's possible at this point, but the aim is that we all agree on one character. character from the 6 picks that was mentioned. So,
Hirap nun.
yun nga. Ngayon, So, hopefully, this is not a debate or an argument. It's a way to convince each other. Now, you're selling your character by downselling the other characters, the other picks.
Right.
But before we start, I'd like to start my rebuttal session in same order kanina. I hope you guys remember. But before we do that, Cap, let me just check. Meron bang tayo? May bagong comments or feedback from our beloved audience?
Okay, so dahil nabanggit rin lang naman ng ating beloved audience, what? After nung first na mention ko kanina, may mga nadagdag na comments. So we got si Vin, sabi niya dito, Squall and Renoa para sa akin.
Sabi ko sa'yo eh.
Yes, pero usapan namin trickster yun eh. Ito si Danday, sabi niya Ryu all the way. Sabi ni Stanley, Akuma equals warrior. Sabi ni Cheska, Kirby, pwede compensin ng lahat. Sabi ni
To an extent.
To some extent.
May limitations na I believe eh. Si Banyaganiti sabi niya, the iconic thing about Hitman Agent 47 for me is the music by Jesper Kid. Yung gumawa ng background music for the other Hitman games. Can't have the tension without it. Every time. Sabi ni Vince, Leon and Claire ng Resident Evil 2. Tapos yun, sinabi na siya, sa mauna na siya. Sabi niya, let's go Microsoft. Minarket daw ni Harem yun as a Microsoft trainer. Sabi ni Vince, kilala naman natin ni Cap kahit matanda na siya. Sige. Ayan ang kwento mo.
I think that's a Minecraft
sabi
character.
ni Luis.
Yeah, the Steve.
Minecraft. Yan nga. The later generations know about it. Stanley, sabi niya, mga 2014 era, dami naglalaro niyan. Yun nga, sabi ni Lea, galing ni Jazz.
Anong damo?
Dami.
Ikaw, kakasama mo yan kila Kuya Rene mo eh. Iilan mo kakasama sa mga Etibac Boys.
Balikan nga natin para makita pa rin kayo doon sa taas. Sabi ni Vince, Legend of Zelda pass lang na laro ko pero di mabilang kung ilang beses ko siya tinapos dati. Sabi ni Lucky, Zero Mega Man X series started as a villain, rework reprogrammed. Yeah. And it goes to show bad guys can be good guys sometimes and he dies and get reprogrammed again. Every Mega Man X series but stop at X4. At sabi ni Harem, basahin niyo to kung sinong mananalo may regalong laruan sa akin.
Easy. Wala akong bobotohin sa inyong lahat.
Dapat hindi mo sinabi yan, Harem, because now everyone's going to be super aggressive.
Bilang lang naman sa atin. Bilang lang naman sa atin ng ngolekte eh. Bilang lang naman sa atin ng ngolekte eh. Kaya yung mga hindi pa masyadong nangongolekta dyan, upo muna kayo. Kami na lang muna.
Give chance to others.
Wala pa
ako laruan. Never pa ako nagkaroon ng laruan talaga, Boss Harem. Nako. Yung iba
pero do you want to start the rebats na or do you want to do the
Rene mag-start.
Si Rene
mag-start.
Okay, I'll start the rebats.
Mamaya yung honorable mention.
Okay.
My rebuttals. First off, adjust to most of the arguments that everyone raised. A lot of you, while very, very well said arguments, one glaring flaw that I noticed is that you keep arguing how iconic the game is. We're talking about the iconic character. So the game may be iconic, yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the character is iconic. I'm gonna go through my notes here about the individual picks. Lara Croft, again, game, not actor, because you mentioned for one of the earlier female protagonists launched this feminist, female interest in the game. However, again, great. It's a credit to the game, not the character itself. Also, your World Book record thing for Lara Croft. That's the first character to do this, and that it's in the Guinness Book of World Records. Pac-Man, however, is a Guinness Book of World Records category. Wherein the score ever hit is in the Book of Records. And I believe it is 3,333,060 points in the Guinness Book of World Records. So the fact that it's a category along with, actual sports, Olympic events, I think that is Pac-Man above that particular aspect. So moving on to Ryu. When I said earlier that Pac-Man, there's few characters more iconic than Pac-Man. For me, that's Pikachu and Mario. Ryu is an icon, yes, but only in fighting games, not in gaming in general, because there is no Detective Ryu or Dr. Ryu or Mrs. Ryu. Pac-Man, Pikachu, and Mario have all of that. Agent 47. Again, same with Lara Croft. I thought iconic game. About the physics. Again, game is iconic, not the character itself. There is only one iconic Hitman, and that is Bret Hart. What I put here for Minecraft, let's be serious. I'm kidding.
No, you're just a hater, bro. You're a hater.
Again, a lot of good points. I am. That's true. One of the biggest points you mentioned, but is the character recognizable or is the unique design of the Minecraft itself? Kasi you can put a random Minecraft character, they know that it's Minecraft, but would they know if it's Steve? Or would they know that if it's the main character? Because that's the thing, Minecraft is uniquely designed. The people know the design, not the character. Again, the game is popular, but there is no correlation that it's because trying to argue, which is the iconic character. A game can be iconic, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the character is iconic. Okay, last one is Link. You mentioned this. This is my, I do agree that Link is one of the iconic characters, but you did mention one that the fact that a lot of people don't know who Link is already disqualifies him as an iconic character. Because again, it's a repetitive thing. If they're confused between who Link is and Zelda is, that's my main thing about that. So, but again, generally, good points. They're all good points about the games, not the character themselves. So that is where I rest my case. Thank you. Up next.
Wait, is the score for the Pac-Man thing in the Guinness World Records? Is it the one by Billy Mitchell, the known cheater? Nawala. As soon as
is that the one?
okay.
Wala.
The high score for
yeah.
Pac-Man, sorry.
Actually, the perfect score, yung 3 million.
Who's the world record?
It's not the high score, it's the perfect score.
Okay. So
it's the highest.
It's not Billy Mitchell.
Okay.
Mitchell, first person to claim this, but there are meron nang sumunod. Yeah.
It's not Pac-Man I have beef with. It's Mitchell himself.
Ako na ba? Game na to. Okay.
Go ahead.
Alright, sige. So, unahin natin si Pac-Man. Unahin natin si Pac-Man. I agree, no? Pac-Man is a character very, very iconic. Yes. Pero then again, nagkataon lang talaga na very ironic na yung same character also shares the title of the same video game. And kung pag-uusapan natin yun, it
I know what you're going for.
It cancels it out. Kasi tanda mo, Guinness World Records, na-record niya yung game and not the character. And ang pinag-usapan natin, we're talking about iconic characters here. Yung sinabi mo na about kay Tomb Raider, no. Tomb Raider, si Lara Croft was in different games outside of Tomb Raider and outside of gaming as a whole. She had comic books, she had movies. Muntik na nga magkaroon na animated series, buti na hindi natuloy. Pero, plus, again, ulitin ko Playboy. Playboy, di ba? Sino yung unang, pag pinag-uusapan nyo yung nudity sa video games at yung pagre-research nyo, sino yung unang-una nyo may isip? Lara Croft kasi she was, again, the first
Overwatch.
sex symbol.
Fresh Stratus.
That's wrestling. Pero yes, agree.
Yeah, but she was in Smash.
And Stacey Kibler. Pero ayun, Pac-Man, accidentally naging iconic na lang siya because of the game. Not just the character. Kasi yung character, wala talagang personality yung character. That's just me. Basta kilala si Miss Pac-Man.
Wala rin siyang punching power.
Wala siyang punching power, pero meron siyang snacking power, di ba? So, basically, he's an overweight character lang. So, ganun lang siya. Sino susunod? Ryu. Si Ryu, no? I actually agree with Rene's point. Actually, si Ryu, very, very iconic character. Pero kung tatanungin mo, he's only iconic, one, sa fighting games, and two, sa Capcom. If you introduce Ryu to a different set of gamers, hindi nila masyado makikilala. Maybe 10, let's say 6, 7 out of 10 no Ryu, pero the rest hindi nila masyado kilala. So either hindi sila familiar sa Capcom or hindi sila familiar sa fighting games or they're not really gamers in their own right. So again, iconic si Ryu, yes, but only in specific niches kung saan siya pumapasok. And remember, si Ryu sa mga games outside of Street Fighter, it has always been fighting games. And Fortnite.
Okay, yeah.
Diba? Okay, so sino next?
Yeah.
Sino ba next sa orders? Si Cap.
We can just counterclockwise. We can go with Lee next. Given
Okay, sige, Sili muna. Okay, so Sili kasi si Link, again, swak din kasi si Rene dito kasi the fact na hindi nila kilala si Link at kilala na si Zelda, nagkakalituhan pa. It's also the same thing. Plus, kung napapansin mo, yes, merong merchandise si Link, marami siyang merchandise within the gamer's niche. Pero if you go outside that kasi, wala na siyang merchandise. Si Mario nagkaroon, Monster Hunter nagkaroon sa, for example, sa Uniqlo. Diba? Street Fighter nagkaroon. Pero never tayo nagkaroon ng Legend of Zelda merchandise that is outside of the niche.
What do you mean?
What? No.
What? What do you mean?
Nagkaroon ba na, let's say sa Uniqlo ba, nagkaroon ba ng Legend of Zelda doon na t-shirt?
I mean, with other brands,
For example,
not particularly Uniqlo, but other
I think
I'm not supposed to speak.
all I'm saying is,
but to add lang,
compared
yata
to
targeted sa
other
mainstream
characters.
merchandise.
Hindi siya, again, yun, exactly. He's not targeted to mainstream. Very niche kasi si Link. Very niche yun. Although ako, fan kasi ako ni Link talaga. No? Pero that's my point. Actually, yun lang ang naisip kong point dun. Aside from that kasi, wala na talaga eh. Wala, for Link, wala na talaga. Yung confusion between Zelda and Link, and of course, yung knowledge of the normies outside of gaming. Yun talaga yun. And then it's a very significant thing also kasi we're talking about characters here. And kung iconic and influential, it has to transcend kahit outside of the niche that they have or they're currently in. Perfect example kasi si Mario. Diba? So, ayun. So Lee's done. Si Captain Mike, si AK-47, si Hitman 47.
Si AK-47.
Pag ini-scanner ba yung ulo niya, makikita mo kung magkano siya. Si Hitman. Ako, I agree. Hitman is very well known. Again, very niche kasi. Not everyone plays assassin-like games. And kung pupunta tayo doon, tapos na yon. Kasi again, not everyone plays it and lalo na yung mga parents natin ngayon, hindi nila kilala yan. Diba? Only players who really played games or played the game itself, kilala nila yan. And plus, only a few people na kilala ko na naglalaro ng Hitman ngayon. Sa kilala ko. Which means that hindi siya ganun sikat in different communities. It's very niche. Tapos na ako kay Ryu, no? Yung kay Jazz kasi, si Steve, again, we're talking about characters here. And kung ipakita mo si Steve sa t-shirt, a kid probably would say, ay, Minecraft. And someone would say, Minecraft. Unfortunately, yun ang sasabihin niya, Minecraft, hindi si Steve.
It's the guy from Fortnite.
It's the guy from Fortnite. Baka probably,
The guy from
yun
Super
diba?
Smash Brothers.
Kasi we're talking about characters. Again, we're talking about characters. And yes, Steve, in the game of Minecraft as a game is very iconic. Alam naman natin yun. Aside from the stats na binanggit ni Jazz, it actually became an educational tool for teachers para ma-practice yung creativity ng mga bata. No, it's a great tool, but again, they know of Minecraft but not of Steve. Ako nga, di ko kilala si Steve. Kaya ko lang nakilala, di ba? I've been a gamer all my life. So yun. I played Minecraft too. No, so yun. So yun lang akin. Sino sunod sa akin?
Let's go counterclockwise.
The person
si
who
Lina,
left after you was Trickster.
Ano yun, sorry? Yan counterclockwise na tayo. Counterclockwise na
susundin na natin to.
Okay. Ikaw na lang palit si Conor.
Si Linga.
So, let's start with Mike since siya yung nasa taas ko. Pahuli. So like what Chino said, like, as simple lang nung point, who the fuck knows Agent 47?
Is that a roast?
I can't even.
I mean,
I agree.
who the fuck knows him? Nobody.
Hindi ko kilala, seryoso.
Very niche.
Legitimately, even the game itself.
I only know him because I played the game.
Yes. Even the game itself is not as iconic as a game. Let's be honest. It didn't create a wave of Hitman players. Diba? Out of all the games that it played, the newest one created a short wave and created the movie and immediately died.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of my point there. Nobody fucking knows Agent 47, and most people know him because of the movie. Even my dad knows of the Hitman, but they don't call him Agent 47.
It's the bald guy.
It's the bald guy with the barcode. That's it.
It's a walking grocery item.
and next, so tricks with tricks kasi Ryu again, iconic as a fighting game character, but not as an iconic video gaming character that transcended through everyone, because like the point is of being an icon, it transcends multiple generations, and newer generations don't really know Ryu anymore because basically the fighting game, the FGC community or the fighting game community is really niche, and not a lot of newer generation play
Gago ni Jazz ang puta.
fighter.
Meron.
No, I understand, but there's quite a few.
Kay Notch yung sagot ko, men. Kay Notch yung sagot ko.
You know what I mean? Kasi like right now, even their servers were struggling since the start of the SF5 release, and they were never able to fix it. That's my point with Ryu. Next is Steve. I think he would be, aside from Rene's character, Steve will be one that I would consider iconic, same as Link, because as much as to the point of Rene that not everyone specifically knows the name of the character, they know and they are familiar with the character. That also falls onto the being iconic, because some folks would see Pac-Man, but they don't immediately know Pac-Man, especially with the newer generation. Kasi when was the last time that Pac-Man became relevant aside from the Pixel movie, which he had just a cameo?
Recently.
With the free mobile game?
No.
Like
there was a recent remaster of Pac-World.
What?
Pac-Man, there was a recent remaster of Pac-Man World.
There was a recent remaster.
Hindi na natin alam eh. So,
exactly.
That explains it, right?
I mean, that means just within the gaming community, we are gamers and most of us don't know it. So, you're always an exemption to the rule since you're the resident guru, so that's why you know it. But there you go. That's the main point, because whenever I think about Pac-Man, I think about, is he still iconic up till now? I don't think so, because when you say an icon, it has to be relevant in some way, and if a character is not relevant anymore, you cannot call it an icon, right?
Video game character, I remember.
Yeah, video game character. It's the same with like in like any sport personality, right? Whenever you talk about an icon, you talk about Michael Jordan. When was he never when was he never relevant or even part of the conversation? He's always part of the conversation.
You would be surprised that I know this is a very small number of people, but you would be surprised there would be some people who never knew about Michael Jordan.
Yeah, that's a weird thing.
Yeah,
because it's a global
right?
thing.
Agree.
That's a very
With the logo, diba?
exactly.
Like even
And-
Nike, this person never knew about Michael Jordan.
Right. And lastly, yung kay Lara Croft, I think you know my whole point. It's almost the same with everyone.
Ayun naman,
What?
feminist na naman.
Hindi, no. It's not about. I actually love the Tomb Raider games. I love even the new games.
No, gusto ko yung bago.
I love them. I played them on the PS1. I finished all those games. You know, I played it with the glitch and all. But the thing is, again, relevancy. If a character is iconic, or even just the game itself, it should be relevant up until this point. The same with Super Mario, the same with like you said, that's why we didn't choose Sonic, because they are still relevant and they are still well known. Now, to my point, the reason why Link, bakit si Link is still relevant is because The Legend of Zelda and Link, you can see he's always the title in the title. He's always part of the console releases. Not every single console release, the game that it came with aside
May
from
laban ako
Mario
dyan.
was The Legend of Zelda. Even
Nawala.
Wala
Or
si
si
Lee. Hoy, hindi ko yan na yan. Pero habang wala si Lee, may laban ako sa sinabi niya. May laban ako dyan eh. Pero nawala siya.
Ako.
Anyway, sasabihin ko lang yung point ko. Eto si Lee. Sasabihin ko lang yung point ko since wala ka eh. Kasi you're talking about game releases. And game releases is just one thing of being iconic and influential.
Yung sasabihin ko pa pala regarding the merchandise. That's something that maybe you're not as big as a fan, but up until this point, Legend of Zelda merchandise is being released. And it's
Sa
being sold.
mainstream? Sa mainstream. I'm talking about mainstream. Huh?
Do we count amiibos?
No, it's
Amiibos
Nintendo.
is it's in the
General
within the
collection
gaming
yun na
It's within the
Kasi
gaming
Nintendo,
niche.
they have to make merch.
Ayun.
Right. Oh, like Legend of Zelda, they have merch within that niche. Pero outside of the gaming industry, dun nawawala. I mean, Ryu is actually there. Maraming third party na gumagawa ng mga ganun, 'di ba? Pero ayun. Pero again, yeah.
There you go. That's my argument.
Okay.
Hindi, naputol ako na wala na akong internet. Converge.
Sa Dubai ka,
Converge,
huwag kang ano.
Ay, sorry, nalimutan ko.
Paki-check nga kung abot yung Converge diyan, buisit. Ego, Mike. Go ahead.
Sa akin naman, I mean, comparing with the big guns, talagang magugulpi yung character ko. Sabi nga ni Lee, who the F is, Agent 47 nga naman, di ba? Kasi hindi lahat ng tao nakaka-relate sa kanya. But, hear me out. Yung mga, yung what makes a gaming character iconic nga naman daw transcends time. Obviously, yung longevity niya, makikilala pa ba yan ng mga tao? Relevancy, sabi nga nila, diba? Pero the thing with Agent 47's persona kasi, it's something na you don't see anywhere. It's an assassin with lots of class. Hindi lang siya hindi lang siya dati naisip lang yung personality niya as
Nakikita ko si Lee nagpipigil
nagpipigil yan pero
ako nagpipigil din ako
pero para sa akin the
nagre-reply ako sa mga comments.
the thing with and I'm definitely sure you guys will win especially kung ang pag-uusapan ilan yung tao nakakakilala sa mga characters natin lahat, diba?
But that's the point.
Pero the thing with what I have is yung personality kasi yung selling point ko for Agent 47 Sure.
Let me just remind you kung nasang part na tayo ng usapan natin na rebuttal ito at hindi explanation kung bakit si Hitman ang pinili mo.
I know.
Bakit hindi kami yung dapat piliin?
Kaya nga. At tuloy ako. Sorry naman, wag namang Sabi nga ni Harem dito, Agent 47 solid sa pero Pac-Man kasi feeling ko hindi na siya umabot up to this day. The kilala siya nung mga kagaya ko na Jurassic for Pac-Man, pero yung mga bata ngayon, I doubt if they still know Pac-Man. If they do, konti na lang. Diba? Lara Croft, kung hindi lang siya siguro nagkaroon ng movie at nag-stuck lang siya sa game, hindi na rin makikilala masyado si Lara Croft. Link.
There's a movie.
Link is... Yeah, there's a movie, pero...
There's a sequel coming up.
I forgot about the movie.
Pero... Si Link, lang yan may selected number of people lang yan I mean, hindi yan yung... Like, makikilala nung regular... Like, alam mo yung kapitbahay ko, kilala ba si Link? I don't think so. So, si Ryu pa siguro kasi, I mean, kung pag sinabi mong fighting games, yun yung unang-unang pasok sa utak nila And every kid to adult definitely knows who that guy from Minecraft is kasi naiintindihan ng mga bata But, iba ang nag...
Hindi ko pigil sa sarili ko.
And I'm definitely you guys will win against this though. Pero for me, I don't think may kagaya ni Agent 47 with that has anonymity, has that class and that finesse na ni kagaya na nagagawa ni Zelda or ni Ryu or ni Pac-Man
Right.
Oh, that's
Okay.
Nice.
Yes, sir, pasok.
Next.
Convince ako.
Okay.
Agent.
So,
Parang Agent 47 yung mananalo, guys.
Sobrang compelling talaga nung event yung description.
Gago.
I'll make this interesting as I will also give positives to the characters you all mentioned because in a way Pac-Man is still relevant in modern times at least because it's still pumping out games aside from the remaster of Pac World. It also had a very competitive scene in terms of Pac-Man Championship Edition, and I still saw there's still Pac-Man machines coming out in arcades somewhere. They're rare, but they're there. For Pac-Man, however, I mean, yeah, they don't really talk about Pac-Man nowadays, but it's more on the player na, since they're the ones focusing on the high score. When they talk about Pac-Man, they'll just talk about the time attack or how the most optimum path they'll take for Pac-Man. In a way, he's still relevant, but not so much nowadays. Lara Croft is not the only video game female in Playboy. She is the first, but she's not the only one there. Aki doesn't count because she's a movie character. Lily was there. While Lara Croft was very popular back then, she has lost some of her fan base nowadays, and despite having a movie, no one really talked about the no, no. I actually forgot there was a movie, even though I saw a trailer for it. I didn't even know it came out, and a lot of people, at least from my side, is not a big fan of new Lara Croft. Maybe if it was the old one, sure, like the more empowering one. Link and Minecraft, Steve, is kind of weird for me because their games are still somewhat relevant. But this may sound weird, even though there is a Zelda timeline. You are Link. You're not actually the Link is not actually
The titular character.
Since ever since the beginning, aside from the modern Zelda nowadays, most of the time you name Link. Of course, other RPGs do this as well, but it's mostly their canon. Their canon. Their more modern iteration. They have their canon names na. As for Link, it's you. You are Link. That's why he's called Link. So you are the iconic player for Zelda, even if you are playing the ones from the Zelda CDI, which I feel bad for you if you slog through that, despite it being experimental. As for Steve, yeah, you are Steve. I can't deny the popularity of Minecraft, but even though I watch a lot of VTubers playing Minecraft as well, they always refer to them as themselves, not Steve. As for Agent 47, he is very popular in terms of the video game. No one really is. No one really thinks of Agent 47 when you think of stealth action games. From the get go, they'll always refer to either Ezio of Assassin's Creed or Solid Snake. Although the Hitman games are popular, they're really doing it for themselves, not for the character backstory. They love the gameplay. The gameplay is great, but Agent 47 is not really at the top of their priority.
At di naman binanggit na klase si Agent 47. Hindi ko talaga mapigilan.
I did not even I didn't even notice that. Like that's true. Like Agent 47 is not the top of the priority of anyone who plays Hitman. They want to kill people in the most hilarious or weird way possible.
Yeah.
The wine press.
Or making some guy commit suicide himself. That one was sad, but a job's a job. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, that's mine.
Okay.
Suggest na.
For me, all right. Okay, we are talking about characters getting recognized is equal to being iconic. Okay,
Mhm.
I just have to tell my case that even though no one knows that Minecraft guy is Steve, they know that's the guy from Minecraft. All right, so start it all off. I have to give props to Legend of Zelda, si Link and Ryu. Actually, their games are still relevant. They're still releasing games today, and Gen Zs and the new Gen Alphas, born 2020 up, would actually still want to play the game, or some of them would actually still want to play the game and recognize the characters as iconic at some point. But downside is they're very niche. But aside from being niche, they actually have the makings of being an iconic character. Pac-Man, dead game. No one's playing it anymore. Even Gen Zs and Gen Alphas don't want to play Pac-Man. They find it boring. All right? And they won't even bother knowing Pac-Man because they're not playing the game. Agent 47. I hate to say it. No one knows Agent 47 aside from us gamers. Outside the gaming community, outside the very confined space of gaming, no one knows Agent 47. Lara Croft, aside from being famous in Rule 34 in the internet, current generation, there are actually people who knows Lara Croft, because of Rule 34. And,
You lie!
diba? Being the last person here, kinoment ko kanina, I have a statistic that would determine the winner of this contest. It has 100% surefire answer to all our problems this episode. Family Feud. Family Feud? There is a question in Family
really
Feud
want this toy.
to name an iconic video game character. This episode was aired on August 16, 2022. And then according to statistics, they asked 10 children, 30 teenagers, 30 young adults, and 30 adults. So they count that as 100. I have to tell you guys, all right? Here it is. Number 1, Mario. Siyempre naman, Super Mario. Number 2, Sonic. Now, 5 yung answer. I have to tell the last in the category. So,
Dramatic mo! Let's go!
Super Mario and Sonic, out yun di ba? Kasi disqualified. Number 5 is actually Pac-Man. Number 4, Luigi. And number 3 is Lara Croft. I'm not joking. Number 3
Let's
is
go!
Lara Croft. Yun lang yung sinasabi ko That's Family Feud. 100 people, they asked iconic video game character. Number 3 is Lara Croft. Siyempre, di na inisali si Mario at Sonic kasi naman na sila kumbaga, di na sila kasali. But unfortunately, it's Lara Croft. I'm a bit saddened, but it's Lara Croft, guys.
Hindi ko alam yung Rule 34 na yun. So, totoo lang ngayon ko tinignan.
Lara Croft won through porn. Yun lang yun. She was iconic through porn. Second only to Diva.
Of course.
From Overwatch.
Are they sure they asked the right people for the
I wanna know how these 100 respondents
Let's not wag na natin
Pero
this data yan, data.
That seems to be compromised data.
Pero it's a thing. That's what we're arguing. Diba? No. It's 100 random people. The demographics backing jazz up.
Horny man.
We were talking about mainstream
and children.
popularity.
Come on.
And these are 100 random stages. So if yun yung result,
diba? We're talking about being iconic. We're talking about being recognized.
kasi that's a very healthy.
Nawala na si
Very healthy.
So pang ilan si Agent?
Wala si Agent 47 sa list.
Maraming salamat.
You didn't have to
On-site
do
reporter Rene Cruz Jr.
Fuck, am I back?
Yan. Okay, salamat. Sige, fine. Taken. Thank you, Judge. Maraming salamat. Pero sa atin, sa G3, of course, we have to choose only one. And I think yung rebuttals natin and how we describe our characters, very well, very good descriptions. Ganda ng paglaban natin. Ang ganda ng rebuts natin. Pero for us, kung papipiliin tayo, sino ang pinaka-iconic character natin?
Among the
six.
Gusto ko yung laruan.
Of course.
So Minecraft Steve pa rin. Wala akong bobotohin sa inyo. Bala kayo dyan. Bala kayo mag-away-away.
Sige, hindi namin boboto kasi talo ko rin kaagad. Hindi ako, honestly, pag papipiliin siguro, I'd probably go with Link. Despite not moving into that mainstream, kasi si Link would be second only to Mario when you talk about iconic games. Iconic games, Nintendo. Sabi nga ni Harem, franchise player yan, si Link. And yes, nagkaroon ng confusion kung sino man si Zelda at si Link, si Nintendo ang sisihin nyo doon. Diba? So, si Link talaga ang hero talaga ever since naman. So, You know, after even if sobrang confusing yung timeline niya.
I can't wait to bump some dodongos.
So ako para sa akin, it's Link. Although para sa mga tao, it's Lara Croft. Pero para sa akin, it's Link.
It's Link. Ayun.
Ikaw, Lee.
Tough. I think either I would go for Steve. Not to glorify my answer. Para lang maiba. I think because hindi man siya nanggaling sa retro. Because I also played with that game when it was starting out. The Bedrock version. When it was still buggy as fuck.
Guys, teka lang. I really need to go. Just crisis level shit, emergency. Sorry, teka lang. I really need to go. Wait lang.
Go. Hindi ko na napansin yung pangalan niya. Malaki ang G.
So, yun nga. So, yeah. I would go for Steve. Just to...
Right.
Para hindi lang ma-reinforce yung sagot.
Are we
Steve
voting
one,
for
Link
if,
one.
everyone else's picks?
Kasi ang bagay naman if you vote yours eh. Diba? Ako kasi...
Oo, dapat hindi boboto sa sarili. Dapat you should vote for
si Lara Croft kasi lahat na ng tao binoto na si Lara Croft. So ako hindi na. Ikaw, Mike, sino sa'yo?
Kasama ako dun sa mga tao na yun kasi I would vote for Lara Croft. Apart from it as a personal favorite, siya yung perfect example nung a character that transcends through time, na yung mga nasa early 90s, yung mga 2000s, 2010s, and currently they still know Lara Croft. So yun yung ano dun eh. They know this, siya yung makikita mo sa mga although let me rephrase that. Kaya ako naman din pinili talaga si Lara Croft is yung personality niya as one of those female adventurers eh.
Gcash ko na lang mamaya, Mike.
Pero I mean, compared to the rest, sige, I give credits to every character. Pero para sa akin kasi, when you mention Lara Croft, when you mention Tomb Raider, it transcends through through generations eh. And in decades, hindi generations.
Okay.
Trickster.
Go Trix.
For me, I'd have to go with Pac-Man. Just fucking that pizza looking bastard has made amazing memories from friends, and even making new friends of old, and even friends of current friends of mine sa Discord. We would always just compare scores when in specific maps, and even old people, the older audience know who Pac-Man is. So in a way, he does make people remember the good old times, and the newer generation can maybe somewhat appreciate the simpler style of gaming that we were used to back then. Since Pac-Man Championship Edition is still alive and running, wouldn't you believe, after all this time? So it's so in a way still relevant, but not at the same time, but still somewhat iconic in the gaming sphere. He's still Namco's famous mascot after all.
Hindi pa siya napapalitan, ano?
No.
Pac-Man pa rin. Okay. Ikaw rin eh. As our on-site reporter.
Okay. Am I here? Sige.
You are here.
Medyo putol-putol.
Before I answer, it's going to explain why I picked Pac-Man. Okay. So, yeah. I picked Pac-Man because that's not my vote, because since we can't vote for our own picks. But I picked Pac-Man. I play video games, but I'm not necessarily a gamer. So, after Mario, Sonic, and Donkey Kong, for me, Pac-Man is the one to be Nick. But again, being not a because we don't ignore market research. If there are a survey of 100 people, it's pure stuff. Ignore market research. 3 is right. That is a that clear indication.
Hindi ko na kailangan marinig si
Icon,
Rene
or at least for the
para
purposes of discussion.
maintindihan. And there you have it! Ano nating scores, diba? Lara Croft is the winner! Palakpakan! Yan! But, yun, kamusta?
Who's your vote?
Palaki ang
Who's your vote, Dash pala?
Ha?
Who's your vote?
Wait, anong statistic natin? Ano nang tally?
Ang tali is si Mike, Tomb Raider, si Rene, nag-Tomb Raider din, si Lee, nag-Steve, si Trix, nag-Pac-Man, ako nag-Link. So, ikaw na lang pala.
Alright, so sino yung dapat kong botohin para mag-tie?
Ako si Link. Boto mo si Link.
Ha?
Boto mo si Link para sa akin.
Para sa'yo. Sige, para sa'yo, Chino. I'm going with Link. I'm going with Link, actually. Just because, again, he's like second in command kay Mario, no, pagdating sa Nintendo stuff. So, marketing-wise, I think they're putting a lot of money into marketing Link as well. So, I think that deserves being an iconic character. So yun, Link.
And there you have it, mga kaibigan. Tapos na po ang ating debate. And ang mga nanalo. Siyempre, Link is the first. Yes, Collusion! Collusion and Porn wins. Yay! At ang champion natin ay Lara Croft, aka Tomb Raider. Palakpakan! Palakpakan! First runner-up, of course, si Link from Legend of Zelda. Hello, hello. And of course, meron tayong Pac-Man and Steve. Yun. Thank you very much, mga kaibigan.
Wait. Walang bumoto kay Mike?
Wala.
O sige, kay Mike na lang ako. Joke lang.
Kumulo.
Ito.
Gulay mo.
Last na. To make it fun lang. Give your honorable mentions. No explanation, just one name. Honorable mention lang. Simulan na natin kay Lee. Sino honorable mention mo to be part of that list? Iconic and influential.
Joel and Ellie of The Last of Us.
Last of Us. Okay.
Definitely. Definite.
I
think ako yung pulang ibon sa Angry Birds.
Si Kazooie. Ay,
Robio, no? Right.
Pulang ibon sa Angry Birds.
Siya yung Angry Birds sa Angry Birds.
Siya yung Angry Bird.
Yeah.
Ikaw, Mike. Honorable mention, one name, no explanations. Solid Snake. Okay. Ikaw, Trix.
Master Chief.
Master Chief, yeah.
Rene, are you with us? On-site reporter Rene, nandito ko po ba?
Di ba sa side?
Pakigalawang baso. Honorable mention, no explanations needed.
Di ba sa side, Rene?
Luigi.
Rene, are you here?
Kailangan natin ng MP reader.
So that's the side, di ba?
Ipasmophobia na natin si Rene.
Ako,
Rene,
okay ka na?
with us? EMF level 5. Donkey Kong daw. Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, okay.
Honorable mention.
Siguro ako, next to Mario, siguro isa sa pinaka-iconic be Luigi for me as an order. And that is our show, mga kaibigan. Thank you very much for watching. It was a great debate. And of course, congratulations kay Lara Croft. You are the top iconic influential. Oy, sorry, we cannot beat data. We cannot beat statistics.
Lahat ng bumoto, boomer! Puta!
No, guys.
They're not boomers. They're horny.
Uy.
Our show, mga kaibigan. Thank you very much for joining us. This episode 79, of course. And before we all leave, may mga gusto lang akong banggitin. We like to thank our partners. Si Razor Gold. Thank you very much, Razor Gold. Of course, Unbox Live events. And of course, this Saturday, meron po tayong event na pupuntahan. All-Star MLBB Music Carnival. Hello, Tito Judy. Hello, Tito Ray. So, sa Sabado, kita tayo doon. Tomorrow, actually, kita tayo sa Market.
Actually, I have a list of their guests na. So,
ayan, Judge, can share that.
Bigay mo kay Agent 47.
ano yung ano ko? No! But mostly ML influencers, ML pro players. You got Rose Ordones, Buboy, Jelay, Coco Sampang, Chooks TV, Benny Cutie, Gian, Carl Tizzy, Ella Norm, Hype Beats, Sanford, Sanji, Yawi, King Jasro, Lebron, Leia B, Sainty, 30 Gaming, and Totoy. They're also gonna have a lot of activities. They have a photo wall where you can take photos with yourself and your friends. You got Minion Lane. You got Minion Battle with Eudora, Atomic Pop Stage with Mia, Destroy the Turret, Rafaela Hill Station, and Hanabi's Magic Wheel. And of course, don't forget Razor Gold booth. They will be giving away Razor stuff as well.
Yeah, of course. That's this weekend. And of course, April 30, meron tayong rest back sa Playbook Esports Makati, sa May Circuit Makati. Kung gusto nyo sumali, punta lang kayo sa Facebook page na Ranida Esports Network or REN para makasali kayo doon. And also, join us there as we will be covering that tournament as well. And again, just to mention, of course, may mga malalapit na big events tayo like Manila Game Fest at May 2021. And of course, UnboxCon 2023 sa May 2021. Mangyayari din po yan sa SMX second floor. Makikita natin si Harry Rampilio. Doon ko rin kukunin ang aking premyo ng Project X G3 Colorway. Thank you, Lara. Maraming salamat. Thank you, everyone. And again, we'd like to invite you to like our social media, our Facebook, our YouTube, our Instagram, and our TikTok. Watch all our videos on YouTube. And this is G3. Thank you, guys. Signing out. Enjoy your weekend. See you at the ML.
Napo. Sorry, nagkakaroon talaga ng connection. Nagkakaroon talaga ng connection eh. Meron na siya, tapos hindi nawawala.
See you this weekend. Bye, guys.
Luto.
Talaga ng tubig galing sa Aquaplus.
Luto po,
Kasi
Lara Croft.
24 hours na sobrang lamig ng tubig ko.
Sponsored ba yan? Sponsored.
Thank you very much, Aquaplus, for not sponsoring my tumbler. Sana makita nyo to. We love you.